Handog ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service ang programang Global na Tayo. Pag-uusapan, hihimayin, aalamin ang mga isyung pinag-uusapan ng bayan at dadalhin sa pandaigdigang plataforma. Global na Tayo, talakayang hindi lang pambansa, bagkus pang global community pa. Global na Tayo, dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service, ang online digital station ng Pilipino saan man sa mundo. Tara na, Global na Tayo!
Magandang araw sa ating mga tagapakinig at taga-subaybay dito sa ating himpilang Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Welcome na naman po sa isa pong edisyon ng ating programang Global na Tayo. Sa ngalan ng ating kasamang si Ray Sampang, ako pong muli ang inyong lingkod, Steph Vicente, inyo pong makakasama sa 30 minuto ng mga diskusyon patungkol sa mga mahalagang issue, mapaloob man o labas ng Pilipinas na syempre dadalhin natin sa global stage. Tayo po ay patuloy pong nasusubaybayan sa pamagitan ng ating official Facebook page, ang Radyo Pilipinas World Service. I-search na lamang po iyan sa inyong mga search bar sa Facebook para makapanood kayo at makasubaybay live sa ating programang Global na Tayo. Syempre meron tayong mga replays o re-uploads naman sa ating official YouTube channel. I-search na lamang din po na ang Radyo Pilipinas World Service. At syempre, meron din tayong para dun sa mga on the go na hindi makakapanood, no, pero kaya namang makinig, meron naman tayong Evox PBS receiver app. Paano ba ito mada-download at may install? Syempre, pumunta lamang po sa Google Play Store para sa mga Android user. At doon naman sa mga gumagamit ng iPhone, pwede naman kayong mag-download at mag-install sa pamamagitan ng App Store. Pagkatapos po na makapag-download o makapag-install, ano po ang gagawin? Syempre, ay pagkapasok nyo po, hanapin nyo lamang po ang logo ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service para makapakinig po live dito sa programang Global na Tayo. At bukod dyan, syempre, lagi naman nating ipinopromote, no? Simula nga nitong Disyembre, lagi nating ipinopromote ang ating shortwave radio. Kasi nagbalik na po tayo, no? Starting last December 1. So, paano ba tayo makakapakinig dyan, no? Sa ating shortwave radio? Sa ngayon ay umiere sa ating shortwave ay ang ating English service. Dun sa mga hahabol para makapakinig hanggang po yan, no? Mula alas 10 ng umaga hanggang 11:30 po, no? AM, Philippine Standard Time po, no? Ay maaaring makapakinig sa ating shortwave radio sa pamagitan ng mga sumusunod na shortwave frequencies. 12.020 MHz, 15.640 MHz, at 17.665 MHz. Inuulit ko lamang po, mula 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. po yan. Sa UTC po ay 200 to 330 UTC. At ang ito pong Global na Tayo naman ay bahagi naman po ng Filipino service na ume-ere naman po, no, tuwing 1:30 a.m. hanggang 4:30 a.m. po. So, paano ba tayo makaka-access, no, sa mga programa natin pagdating sa shortwave? Syempre, makinig gamit itong mga sumusunod na shortwave frequencies. Una na dyan, 9.370 MHz. Pag hindi masyadong malinaw dyan, meron tayong alternate na 15.200 MHz. Meron din tayong 9.925 MHz at 12.120 MHz. Ayan, so mapapakinggan, masusubaybayan nyo po ang programang Global na Tayo at maging, no, ang iba pang programa dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service sa pamagitan po yan ng social media, ng Evox PBS receiver app at dito nga po sa ating short wave radio. So anong petsa na po ngayon? December 23, 2 araw na lang. Pasko na. So tulad ng tinanong ko po kahapon sa inyo, ay kayo po ba ay nakabili na ng inyong pang Noche Buena? Ayan, ready na po ba kayo sa kainan, sa handaan, sa kwentuhan with family? Ayan. At syempre para naman dun sa ating mga OFWs, no, for sure ay hindi naman nawawala yung Christmas spirit kasi nandyan ang ating mga embassies, Filipino community organizations para mag-spearhead po, no, ng iba't ibang aktibidad para ipadama po sa ating mga overseas Filipinos na kahit wala sila dito sa Pilipinas ay maaari pa rin silang maging kabahagi ng Paskong Pinoy. At syempre bukod dyan, no, dahil kahapon dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service, yung ating mga panayam ay para sa mga biyahero. Ay kayo po ba ay nakapagbiyahe naman papunta sa inyong probinsya? Kumusta po ang traffic, no? Kanina nung ako'y papunta dito sa Kamaynilaan ay maluwag pa, no, maluwag pa kasi ako dumadaan ako sa NLEX kapag ka pumapasok sa work. So abangan ko na lang mamaya kung ano mangyayari sa akin pag uwi kasi ito ang last day of work, no, para dun sa mga at least for the government agencies kasi dahil nga sinuspend na yung pasok ng December 29 at January 2. So, mahaba-habang bakasyon, no, para sa iba. Pero tayong mga nasa media, syempre ay patuloy po tayong magbibigay ng serbisyo publiko sa ating mga kababayan. And speaking of serbisyo publiko ay atin pong inihahandog sa inyo, no, dito sa ating programang Global na Tayo ang annual report ng ating Department of Migrant Workers o DMW kung saan kanilang highlight yung mga achievements nila sa taong ito, sa taong 2025. So, narito na po ang naturang annual report.
You may now all be seated. At this juncture, it is my distinct honor to introduce the dedicated individuals who have worked tirelessly throughout the year and will be sharing their insights with us today. Allow me to introduce our distinguished panel members. Let's start off with USEC, Undersecretary for Finance and Internal Management, Dominic Rubio Tutay. Hi, ma'am. We also have Attorney Jainal T. Rasul Jr., Undersecretary for Foreign Employment, Middle East and African Affairs. We also have Undersecretary for Licensing and Adjudication Services, Attorney Bernard P. Olalia. And of course, we have DMW Secretary Hans Leo J. Kakdak.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now let us move on to the heart of our event, the Year in Review presentation. So this segment will highlight the DMW's achievements, milestones, and key programs from 2025. It has been a year of unwavering commitment and progress, and we are excited to share these successes with you. So let us all watch this presentation.
Without a doubt, OFWs have had a significant role in our nation's prosperity. It exemplifies the best of what the Philippines can offer the world. We continue to assure our OFWs that within our bagong Pilipinas, this administration will never cease to provide protection, growth, and development for themselves and for their families.
Sa bawat Pilipinong ng ibang bansa, may pamilya at pangarap na naiwan. At sa bawat OFW, naroon ang DMW, tahanan ng OFW. Handang magbigay ng proteksyon, kalinga at suporta sa bawat yugto ng kanilang paglalakbay. Pinalawak ng DMW ang rights-based bilateral at multilateral partnerships upang lumikha ng mas ligtas at makataong overseas employment pathways. 10 bagong bilateral labor agreements ang naisakatuparan sa 8 bansa. Nagbubukas ng mas maraming oportunidad para sa ating mga manggagawa. Nagbibigay ng direktang suporta sa ating mga OFW sa anumang panig ng mundo. Mas pinaigting ang regulasyon at inspeksyon laban sa mapanlinlang na recruitment. Tinitiyak na tanging kwalipikado Etikal at transparent na ahensya lamang ang pinayagang mag-operate. Sa tulong ng National Maritime Polytechnic, mahigit 21,000 seafarers ang naihanda para sa global maritime industry. Pinabilis at pinalakas ang tugon ng Action Fund, nagbibigay ng agarang tulong pinansyal, medikal, legal, welfare at repatriation assistance. Sa gitna ng global crisis, na ipauwi ng ligtas ang ating mga kababayan mula sa digmaan hanggang sa maritimong insidente. Inilunsad ang pinahusay na proteksyon para sa Filipino domestic workers. Isang komprehensibong reforma para sa mas makatarungan at makataong trabaho para sa isa sa pinaka-vulnerableng sektor ng OFWs. Matagumpay na naipatupad ang agresibong kampanya laban sa illegal recruitment at human trafficking mula online hanggang on-the-ground enforcement. Mas pinabilis ng digital innovation ang serbisyo ng DMW mula OEC online processing hanggang real-time welfare monitoring at dokumentong mas ligtas at mas mapagkakatiwalaan. Itinayo at pinalawak ang mga physical facilities na tunay na tahanan ng OFWs, mula ospital hanggang lounges at seafarers hubs. Itinatag ang full-cycle reintegration programs upang makabalik ng may dignidad, kabuhayan at bagong pag-asa ang ating mga OFW. Sa pamamagitan ng likha programs, ginagawang oportunidad ang karanasan abroad para sa kababaihan, land-based workers at marino tungo sa matagumpay na pagnenegosyo at muling pagbangon. Sa pagpapatupad ng IRR ng Magna Carta at Filipino seafarers, mas pinalakas ang proteksyon at karapatan ng ating marino. Pinalakas ang government-to-government hiring sa ilalim ng South Korea Seasonal Workers Program, tapat, makatao at protektadong migration pathway. Nakipagtulungan ang DMW sa CHR, Customs, DTI, DOF, IBP at iba pang ahensya upang masiguro ang proteksyon sa karapatang pantao at access to justice ng OFWs. Hatid ang serbisyong gobyerno direkta sa OFWs abroad sa pamamagitan ng whole of government approach para ang bawat Pilipino saan mang panig ng mundo ay hindi kailanman nag-iisa. Sa DMW, ang OFW ay hindi lamang manggagawa, sila ay haligi ng ating bansa. Sa 2025, patuloy natin silang ipinagtatanggol, inaalagaan at binibigyan ng pagkakataong umunlad dahil ang DMW ay ang tahanan ng OFW.
All right. It is clear that 2025 has been a year of significant strides in protecting and empowering our migrant workers. So following with that insightful presentation, let us all hear the messages of our panelists. So let's start off with let us all hear the message of Secretary Hans Leo J. Kakdak.
Magandang araw sa inyo. Pasensya na to keep you waiting, but glad to know that you've all had your lunch. So it's good to see you. This is our year-ender, and it's been quite a year. I think the video safely summarizes that which the President had wanted us to do right from the start, which is to provide welfare, protection, empowerment of OFWs and their families. So tama, no, yung emphasis on the rights-based bilateral partnerships. We continue to be the guiding light all across the world, all around the world in terms of safe, ethical, transparent labor mobility. We stand for regular paths of migration if and when our citizens do decide to seek greener pastures abroad. We stand for anti-illegal recruitment, anti-human trafficking, kaya nabanggit din kanina yung anti-illegal recruitment, anti-human trafficking efforts. We had more closures than any period in history on a yearly basis. 32. Mamaya papaliwanag din ni Yusek Bernard, but to give you an idea, the 32 closures we had clearly tops the previous record, which is how many, Yusek Bernard, in 1 year? The previous record? 15. We thought we did well last year with 15. Usually, nag-hover ng 8 to 10 yan a year kahit nung panahon ko sa POEA. But we had 15 last year and we doubled output this year. And we're glad to know that Yusek Bernard's group will again double the output for next year. So we will do all our best to continue the effort to close establishments, and once closed, we bring them forward to the DOJ. And of course, nabanggit din yung convictions. We had 6 convictions. And in relation to the scam hubs, we had around, by my count, 20 plus, mga 25 individuals either arrested and trapped or have been the subjects of informations filed in criminal courts. Okay? So, law enforcement has been doing its part. 25 individuals yan na nag-illegally recruit for the scam hubs, subjected to all these law enforcement measures. Yung bilateral partnerships natin continues, di ba kung naalala nyo, last year the President instructed us to deepen bilateral labor relations with countries hosting OFW, so we had continued to pursue. With 10 bilateral agreements in 2025, we pursued bilateral agreements, and the grand total is around 70, Yusek June? 72. And we dare say that for any country, origin country for migrant workers all around the world, that is the most. No? We have the most number of bilateral labor agreements, meaning to say, we had carefully engaged in bilateral labor diplomacy terms, countries hosting OFWs, and as a result, lahat naman, may bilateral labor diplomacy relations tayo. But 10 of these host countries nagbunga ng bilateral labor agreements. And again, tanyag tayo, patuloy tayo nagiging tanyag sa mundo bilang mataas ang paninindigan sa leadership ng ating Pangulo, mataas ang paninindigan sa regular migration pathways. We want our workers to be safe and secure in their migration experience, in their migration journey, so to speak. Another thing I could point out is yung Action Fund, 160,000 beneficiaries for 2025. And we continue to provide the necessary assistance. Our lawyers, by the way, 25 of our international lawyers were just here last week. Last week, we had all our labor attachés, all our welfare officers from OWA, Admin PY's team here in Metro Manila. We put them in one room and discussed and strategized continuing measures to protect our workers' welfare and well-being. So 25 of our lawyers were actually here. Among them, the Qatari lawyer who was instrumental in defending our 17 OFWs, kung naalala nyo, bandang Abril-Mayo, yung nag-engage sa illegal assembly in Qatar. And our profuse thanks to the Qatari government and under the leadership, of course, of the President, kung maalala nyo yung mga panahon na yon na talagang malinaw ang direktiba ng ating Pangulo. Regardless of political affiliation, protect and defend our OFWs. Kaya yung Qatari lawyer na nandito nung isang linggo, napag-usapan nga namin yan. Of course, looking back na lang yung dating namin. And it was a nice way to recollect the events that led to the eventual release of those who were detained right after they were arrested in Qatar. Last April, I think that was. April. Kasama din dito yung lawyer, hindi ko na lang babanggitin yung kaso, Saudi lawyer natin who managed to have the commutation of 2 death sentences Pasensya na kayo, I will not delve for privacy reasons. I will not delve into the identities of the OFW death row convicts in Saudi whose sentences had been commuted. Uh, so, President, of course, is very well pleased about these developments. No, quietly we do this kind of work in partnership with the DFA, SecTes, Lazaro. So we're thankful also to SecTes along these lines. So nandun din yung Saudi lawyer natin. Nandun din yung Jordanian lawyer who secured the conviction of the who assisted Jordanian prosecutorial authorities in securing the conviction of the perpetrator of the crime against Mary Grace Santos. Naalala niyo yun, yung sa Jordan, yung minor de edad na salarin na pumaslang kay OFW Mary Grace Santos. Nandun din yung Kuwaiti lawyer who worked with the prosecutorial authorities, who helped, who on our side monitored and coordinated with Kuwaiti prosecutorial authorities in securing the conviction of the salarin naman ng kaso ni Jollibee Ranara. In both cases, our lawyers, the Jordanian and Kuwaiti lawyer, are busy with securing the civil enforcement of the conviction. So civil claims for damages for the families of Jollibee Ranara in Kuwait and Mary Grace Santos in Jordan. So ang engagement namin sa lawyers last week was very meaningful. The undersecretaries gave sufficient instructions to our lawyers on how to further Yusek June, Yusek Bernard, Yusek Feli, on how to further protection of our workers through legal cases. Si Yusek Nikki, relevant din doon sa discussion kasi si Yusek Nikki naman na nagsisecure ng monitoring ng accomplishments nila in line with the payment of their services. So Yusek Nikki does the budget and management work in terms of ensuring na the workers do their part bago natin na-release yung bayad natin sa kanila. Admin PY, of course, also there kasi may legal arm din ang OWA. So we all put our heads together in terms of how to facilitate. Admin PY's role then, among others, together with the DMW Labor Attaché, is to visit them in prison, those who are in prison. So yun ang naisagawa natin. I'm just pointing out the salient features from my point of view. No? Action Fund was a lot better in terms of utilization for 2025. We were 49% Action Fund utilization in 2023, 59% 2024. And the good news is, yung na-carry over na fund from 2024, 2 years kasi yan, di ba, yung continuing fund, that the 2024 unutilized fund and the 2025 budget for the Action Fund combined, 98% ang utilization. So, we hit our stride with the Action Fund. Siguro adjustment phase din yan sa ating mga ginagawa sa DMW. Growing pains ng isang bagong buo pa lang na ahensya. But finally, in 2025, after our third year of full existence, within our third year full existence, we hit our stride, 98% utilization. And we are anticipating with excitement kung magkano ang magiging budget namin out of the BICAM in general and of course specific to the Action Fund because we are determined to again go for this time 100% utilization, hindi lang 98%. A++ kailangan, hindi lang A+. Okay, so we will go for 100%. Systematic emergency response is one of our key efforts, was once again one of our key efforts in 2025. Unfortunately, it has to take a global conflict or emergency to trigger systematic emergency response. Kung maaari lang, wala nang alitan, hidwaan, delubyo, o ano pa mang problema ng OFW sa mundo. But what it happens, so we were always ang directive ng presidente dito, be alert, make sure that the responses are swift effective, and of course, bringing immediate impact to our OFWs and their families. So, kasama na dyan yung continuing Red Sea crisis, yung pag-atake ng mga Houthis sa mga barko along the Red Sea, sa inaakala nilang barko na kanilang kalaban. So, as a result, we have a number of cases. Most notably, the Eternity Sea case last July, first week of July. Lumubog yung barko. Ang bilang ng tripulante doon would be 21. 21 of the 25 are Filipinos on board. 17 managed to come home, and 9 out of the 17 held by the Houthis for 5 months. And with the strong resolve of the president to continually work with the DFA to bring them home, and of course, with the tremendous efforts of His Majesty the Sultan of Oman, ay napauwi yung Siyam last first week of December. And no less than the president himself thanked His Majesty Haitham Al Tariq, the Sultan of Oman, and of course our thanks as well to Sectes Lazaro through her tremendous diplomatic efforts in reaching out to the Omani side, especially her Omani foreign ministry counterpart. Sa regulatory side, we continue to make sure that the ship owners, the principals, and the LMAs, planning agencies are in line with the regulatory measures. Alam nyo na ito, yung right to refuse sailing, yung reports, armed guards, military escort, yung mga regulatory requirements natin for ships. We managed, of course, by and large, but unfortunately, the Eternity Sea case could not be helped. And so we are still continually being strict about na-suspend yung both the principal and the manning agency dun sa Eternity Sea. And one other case, yung Minerva Grat, na nagkaroon din ng isang fatality. Sumunod yung Minerva Grat dun sa Eternity Sea. Another contingency, of course, where we were on top of the situation would be yung earthquake in Myanmar in partnership once again with Sectes and the DFA and our PE in Yangon. So nagkaroon tayo ng tulong sa pamilya ng 4 na fatalities dun sa Myanmar earthquake, and we're thankful once again to the DFA, and rest assured we will continue to monitor the situation, the plight of those. Of the families of the 4 fatalities. Meron ding tayong tulong na binigay doon sa nasalanta ng lindol sa Mandalay area ng Myanmar. So nagpadala tayo ng team doon to assist the Filipinos who are affected in the Mandalay area. All of them are teachers in Myanmar. So nagbigay ng tulong, financial tulong, basic needs assistance. So we were there. Of course, doon sa scam hubs, we continue to work together with the DFA and IACAT, DOJ, NBI, PNP, law enforcement, PAOK, in terms of, number 1, helping Filipinos who were affected by the scam hub incidents. Around 204 ang na-repatriate natin from Myanmar, scan hubs. I'm not sure kung kasama na dito yung Cambodia, but 204 from Myanmar. Our labor attaché, we opened our labor office in Bangkok early this year. So timing, kasi may labor attaché na tayo sa Bangkok who assists them. Patuloy ang tulong natin, and I already to explain the law enforcement side. Dalawa kasi yan. When you're thinking of scam hubs, you're thinking of welfare, well-being, repatriation of those who are there, workers. And number 2, the law enforcement side. So just be mindful of the two. The Taipo fire incident last November 26 in Hong Kong. 83 ang natulungan natin sa Taipo. Parang mali yata itong 40 na nakalagay dito. 83 ang natulungan natin. Yun yung 83 na nakatira sa Wang Fu Court. nung time ng sunog. So na-assistihan natin yung 83, napuntahan namin ni Admin PY. And we're thankful to the Hong Kong authorities, especially Secretary Chris Sun, Chris Sun of the Hong Kong Labor Department, yung counterpart ko doon, kumbaga. Nagkaroon kami ng press briefing ni Secretary Sun where we both assured each other na tutulungan natin ang mga OFWs na affected doon. I was so touched and in fact conveyed the President's thanks to Secretary Sun. But I was touched by this gesture by the Hong Kong authorities kasi alam naman natin na mas marami ang nawalan sa side nila, Hong Kong citizens. But they still had the strength, they still had the wherewithal, they still had the sympathy and empathy to help our citizens, even if they suffered many losses, more losses in fact, on the Hong Kong side. Natulungan natin yung 83 and then of course, yung including doon sa 83, yung napabalitaan si Nerissa, yung tumulong sa kanyang musanggol, kasama siya doon sa 83. And then yung nasugatan si OFW Rodora na nasa ICU, we thank the Hong Kong medical authorities kasi miraculous yung medical procedure sa kanya. Massive smoke, carbon monoxide smoke inhalation, but the medical procedure was such na nahigop palabas yung carbon monoxide sa baga niya and it was a near miraculous recovery, ICU, critical, and then now she's home. And she is now in the OFW hospital, confined in the OFW hospital. And then yung lone fatality, OFW Marian Esteban, the other night, Admin PY and I and Congressman, our chair in the House Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs, Congressman Brian Revilla, received the mortal remains of OFW Marian Esteban. And yesterday, she was flown to Tuguegarao, where we turned over her remains to her next of kin. And I understand Admin PY could not be here today kasi nandun siya precisely to attend to the family. First day ng wake yata ngayon ni Marian Esteban. So marami pang UAE flooding, may earthquake din sa Taiwan, nagkaroon ng layoff of workers in New Zealand. Marami pang mga certain, even Lebanon, although we had that big repatriation flight in late 2024, nagpatuloy pa rin yung crisis sa Lebanon until nagkaroon ng ceasefire. So we continually assisted the first half of the year, we continually assisted the OFWs in Lebanon. Let me also mention yung digitalization efforts natin. So the slides naman speak for themselves. Yung Goodbye OEC, Hello OFW Pass natin, 514,000 na ang na-process natin through the eGov PH Hub. So we're thankful to the President who launched the eServicio Hub. We're thankful to Sec Henry Aguda of DICT. We're thankful to Commissioner Joel Viado of the PI for helping us out dito sa pagtayo ng DMW presence sa eServicio Hub. And as a result, 514,000 na ang naproseso, meaning na document through the eServicio Hub straight to the e-travel document requirement. Wala na dun sa proseso na yon yung OEC. Okay? The system will know, through the OFW Pass, the system will know if you're cleared with DMW and may proceed to e-travel departure. Okay? Hindi na kailangan ng OEC. Ngayon, having said that, mukhang dito sa travel airport fee refund, hinihingi pa rin ng airlines yung OEC. Kaya some, if not many, still resort to the OEC. But we're talking to the airlines right now. These are growing pains, no? These are part of the adjustment phase from OEC, decades of OEC, to no OEC, okay? You have to understand, it will take some transitional period. Kasi dekada yan na OEC ang institusyon. Okay? But finally, in line with the President's no red carpet, not red tape directive, ay inayos na natin yung proseso. And hopefully in 2026 full blast na to, pati yung mga airlines hindi na rin Basta ipakita lang ng worker yung kanyang e-travel, departure document, sasabihin nung airline, OFW ka ba? If yes, okay, refund.
Napakinggan ang ilang bahagi po ng DMW Annual Report 2025 na pinangunahan ni DMW Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak. At dito na po nagtatapos ang ating programang Global na Tayo. Wala na tayong oras. Sa ngalan pa rin ng ating kasamang si Ray Sampang. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Steph Vicente. Isang mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat.
Handog ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service ang programang Global na Tayo. Pag-uusapan, hihimayin, aalamin ang mga isyung pinag-uusapan ng bayan at dadalhin sa pandaigdigang plataforma. Global na Tayo, talakayang hindi lang pambansa, bagkus pang global community pa. Global na Tayo, dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service, ang online digital station ng Pilipino saan man sa mundo. Tara na, Global na Tayo.